Okay, based on my calculation, we are at 2 Kings chapter 14, I think. Right? Yeah. We ended with Elisha passing away. You could also think about that, Elisha's tomb. Think about all the miracles that happened, all the power associated with his spirit. It makes me think of the scene in Ben-Hur, the Charlton Heston one, where after Christ dies, and then the storm comes in. I think it starts raining, and Ben-Hur's mother and sister, who get leprosy as a result of the events of the film, they're healed, and it kind of always makes me cry, that scene, but that's kind of what I feel like with this scene here at the end of 13 with Elisha. You know, he passes away, but then actually it talks about, band of men, and they cast the man into the sepulchre of Elisha. When the man was let down and touched the bones of Elisha, he revived and stood up on his feet. Some miracle associated with that because of all the power that Elisha had. That spirit was on him, Pretty amazing. Wonder if there are other objects like that, miracles associated with that nobody knows about, or maybe it's suppressed. Can't have miracles in the world, no. Only science. Okay, let's start in prayer before we continue from 14. I shouldn't have gotten a cup of water before I began. I swallowed some dust, I think. Alright, Matthew chapter 6, verse 9. After this manner therefore pray ye, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. Amen. Starting from chapter 14 of 2 Kings, the reign of Amaziah over Judah, verse 1. In the 2nd year of Joash, son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel, reigned Amaziah, the son of Joash, king of Judah. He was 25 years old when he began to reign, and reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Jehoaddan of Jerusalem. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord. Yet not like David his father, he did according to all things as Joash his father did. So it's always halfway, you notice that? And then there's always this accompanying verse here in verse 4. Howbeit the high places were not taken away. As yet the people did sacrifice and burnt incense on the high places. That's what I think anyway, is what I've said before about, high places, groves, hidden places that these people meet at and are doing these sacrificial ceremonies, these satanic rituals and that kind of thing. It must be why they never completely stomp them out, is because they're always in secret places and nobody knows exactly where they're meeting at. That's what I would guess anyway. Or maybe they do willingly just ignore it, you know? I don't know. Verse 5. And it came to pass, as soon as the kingdom was confirmed in his hand, that he slew his servants which had slain the king his father. But the children of the murderers he slew not, according unto that which is written in the book of the law of Moses, wherein the Lord commanded, saying, The fathers shall not be put to death for the children, nor the children be put to death for the fathers. But every man shall be put to death for his own sin. Good. And see, that was written all the way back then. Still makes sense. But, never mind. That's good. 7. He slew of Edom in the valley of Salt 10,000, and took Selah by war, and called the name of it Joktheel unto this day. War between Israel and Judah. Verse 8. Then Amaziah sent messengers to Jehoash, the son of Jehoahaz, son of Jehu, king of Israel, saying, Come, let us look one another in the face. Uh-oh. I think this is it. I think this is the part that I was thinking of not that long ago. 9. And Jehoash, the king of Israel, sent to Amaziah, king of Judah, saying, The thistle that was in Lebanon sent to the cedar that was in Lebanon, saying, Give thy daughter to my son to wife. And there passed by a wild beast that was in Lebanon, and trode down the thistle. Thou hast indeed smitten Edom, and thine heart hath lifted thee up. Glory of this, and tarry at home. For why shouldest thou meddle to thy hurt, and thou shouldest fall, even thou, and Judah with thee? So he's saying, basically that first line in verse 8, let's see each other face to face, look one another in the face, saying, let's go to war, basically. So go all the way back to, midway through the first Kings, book of the first Kings, and God prevents them from having a civil war at that time, from actually exterminating each other, Judah and Israel. But now here we are, what, over 100 years later, now here we go. Now they're going to kill each other. I think about the riots happening right now. Right now. I think, how close are we to that? To all of us just killing each other? How close are we to the United States or the divided states, breaking us up into 5 regions? We're killing ourselves. This is all intended, this division, this divide and conquer. It's not about race. It's not about anything else. The media tries to get people to think it's about race. It's about you white privileged people who trample all over the African Americans. It's all your fault. They try to make it all about that, but it's not. Have you ever interacted with an African American person? You ever communicated with one? Have you encountered hundreds of them and realized, hey, they're just like me? See, they don't emphasize those points, They just sow division, sow corruption, try to get us to kill each other. That's where we're at right now. And that's where we're at in the Bible. Okay, let's get back to it. I lost my place. Okay. So he's saying in verse 10, why do you want to do this? Just go away. We don't have to do this. We don't have to kill each other. That's pretty amazing coming from, this is coming from, it's actually the king of Judah that's instigating this. Usually Judah's the good king, and now the king of Israel is trying to talk him down. Let's not kill each other. Wow. It's coming from the king of Israel. 11. But Amaziah would not hear. Therefore Jehoash, king of Israel, went up. And he and Amaziah, king of Judah, looked one another in the face at Bethshemesh, which belongeth to Judah. And Judah was put to the worse before Israel, and they fled every man to their tents. So I think Chronicles describes this a lot better. I want to say Amaziah was, it's kind of 50-50 how it's written here about Amaziah towards the beginning of chapter 14. I want to say Chronicles talks about him a little more being a pretty good king. And maybe this Jehoash, king of Israel, was a pure evil king, and Amaziah was just trying to be zealous for God and was, but a little too much zeal. Why? I don't think, regardless of if there's a good or bad king, I don't think he wants you to kill your own people. Those are your own people, even though you have this division in the kingdom. You're still Israelites, No, we're Judites and Israelites. Don't associate me with those, That's what it gets to. That's Satan. Or, right now. Don't associate me with those people. Aren't we all Americans? No. We are. But see, Satan divides us. Satan divides us. Nobody else. It's all a tactic. There's so much psychological programming happening right now and been happening for the past 30 years that people are completely out of their minds and brain dead. They won't open this book. They won't think outside the box. They're just walking into death. That's what we're walking into. And that's what unfortunately happened here. They walked into death. (13) And Jehoash, king of Israel, took Amaziah, king of Judah, the son of Jehoash, the son of Ahaziah, at Bethshemesh, and came to Jerusalem, and brake down the wall of Jerusalem from the gate of Ephraim unto the corner gate 400 cubits. That's your own wall. You just broke it down. 14. And he took all the gold and silver and all the vessels that were found in the house of the Lord, and in the treasures of the king's house, and hostages, and returned to Samaria. 15. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoash, which he did, and his might, and how he fought with Amaziah, king of Judah, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? Jeroboam succeeds Jehoash as king of Israel. Now we got another Jeroboam. Great. 16. And Jehoash slept with his fathers, and was buried in Samaria with the kings of Israel. And Jeroboam his son reigned in his stead. Death of Amaziah. 17. And Amaziah the son of Joash, king of Judah, lived after the death of Jehoash, son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel, 15 years. And the rest of the acts of Amaziah, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? Now they made a conspiracy against him in Jerusalem, and he fled to Lachish, but they sent after him to Lachish, and slew him there. And they brought him on horses, and he was buried at Jerusalem with his fathers in the city of David. Azariah succeeds Amaziah as king of Judah. And all the people of Judah took Azariah, which was 16 years old, and made him king instead of his father Amaziah. He built Elath, and restored it to Judah. After that, the king slept with his fathers. Reign of Jeroboam II over Israel. Oh boy. 23. In the 15th year of Amaziah the son of Joash, king of Judah, Jeroboam the son of Joash, king of Israel, began to reign in Samaria, and reigned 41 years. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. He departed not from all the sins of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin. So we're still in Jeroboam the son of Nebat. Still can't break away from him, especially if you name your son Jeroboam the second, probably going to fall into the same problems. 25. He restored the coast of Israel from the entering of Hamath unto the sea of the plain, according to the word of the Lord God of Israel, which he spake by the hand of his servant Jonah, the son of Amittai, the prophet, which was of Gath-hepher. I don't know if that's the same Jonah, but 26. For the Lord saw the affliction of Israel, that it was very bitter. For there was not any shut up, nor any left, nor any helper for Israel. And the Lord said, not that he would blot out the name of Israel from under heaven, but he saved them by the hand of Jeroboam the son of Joash. So this is really fast forwarding, isn't it? It's confusing because they repeat some events, and then they go back and re-summarize, It's very confusing, but the more you read it, the more you start to memorize some of these kings, and I'm still not there. I'm still not, still not perfect with this, but it's good to keep reading, though. Death of Jeroboam II, accession of Zechariah, king over Israel. Now the rest of the acts of Jeroboam, and all that he did, and his might, how he warred, and how he recovered Damascus, and Hamath, which belonged to Judah, for Israel, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? And Jeroboam slept with his fathers, even with the kings of Israel, and Zechariah his son reigned in his stead. Now I don't know if they're fast forwarding, way far up ahead. Is it Zechariah? Zechariah? Is this going to be the Zechariah that's at the end? Because he's the last king. He's the one that gets his eyes ripped out after he watches his sons get their throats slit right in front of him, by Nebuchadnezzar. That's the end. That's the end of the end of the end there. So this must be a different Zechariah. I don't know. Chapter 15, Reign of Uzziah over Judah. I like this guy. This guy, I remember talking about him before. Let's see if we encounter the same verses in the King James. Verse 1. Reign of Uzziah over Judah. Okay, verse 1. In the 27th year of Jeroboam, king of Israel, began Azariah, son of Amaziah, king of Judah, to reign. 16 years old was he when he began to reign, and he reigned 52 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Jecholiah of Jerusalem. 52 years. Wow. 3. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, according to all that his father Amaziah had done. So even though Amaziah gets wiped out by Israel, thankfully they get a good king then after him. And from what I remember, I don't know if I'm right, we're going to read ahead here, and we'll see. This guy is somewhat of a genius. He very creative, inventive mind. He creates some type of unique siege defenses, I think, or siege works, and very impressive, unique technology for the time. And he was also a farmer, loved things that grow, which is a line from a movie I like. But that's a good thing. Anybody who's into things that grow, loves the outdoors, farming. Typically, you encounter farmers, and they're usually really good people. I don't know. Maybe I'm judging it too much. I don't know. But let's move on. Verse 4. Save that the high places were not removed. The people sacrificed and burnt incense still on the high places. But even though you got a good king for 52 years, still couldn't find that out. That's why I still think it's done in secret. That's why it never gets wiped out. 5. And the Lord smote the king, so that he was a leper unto the day of his death, and dwelt in a several house. And Jotham, the king's son, was over the house, judging the people of the land. So I think in Chronicles we get a little more information about Uzziah, but maybe I'm wrong about what I was saying. It's just from memory. I don't know if I'm... Okay. Death of Uzziah, accession of Jotham, verse 6. And the rest of the acts of Azariah and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? So Azariah slept with his fathers, and they buried him with his fathers in the city of David. And Jotham, his son, reigned in his stead. So now we flip back to Israel. Reign of Zechariah over Israel, verse 8. In the 38th year of Azariah, king of Judah, did Zechariah, the son of Jeroboam, Weather just keeps going back and forth, cold and hot, hot and cold. Just keep it one temperature. Come on. It's not a good place to live. Such a nice place to live, but I wouldn't want to visit. Nope. Sorry. It's not a nice place to live. This weather flippant, it's terrible. Okay. Verse 8 of chapter 15. In the 38th year of Azariah, king of Judah, did Zechariah, the son of Jeroboam, reign over Israel and Samaria 6 months. Oh, he only made it 6 months. Okay. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, as his fathers had done. He departed not from the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin. Same line, isn't it? Death of Zechariah, accession of Shallum over Israel. Verse 10. And Shallum, the son of Jabesh, conspired against him, and smote him before the people, and slew him, and reigned in his stead. And the rest of the acts of Zechariah, behold, they are written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel. This was the word of the Lord which he spake unto Jehu, saying, Thy son shall sit on the throne of Israel until the 4th generation. And so it came to pass. So that was his fourth generation, and it's over. Reign of Shallum, his death. Verse 13. Shallum, the son of Jabesh, began to reign in the 39th year of Uzziah, king of Judah, and he reigned a full month in Samaria. He made it a full month. Man. For Menahem, the son of Gadai, went up from Tirzah and came to Samaria and smote Shallum, the son of Jabesh, in Samaria, and slew him and reigned in his stead. And the rest of the acts of Shallum and his conspiracy, which he made, behold, they are written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel. Reign of Menahem over Israel. 16. Then Menahem smote Tiphsah, and all that were therein, and the coasts thereof from Tirzah, because they opened not to him. Therefore he smote it, and all the women therein that were with child he ripped up. That's pretty sick. 17. In the 39th year of Azariah, king of Judah, began Menahem, the son of Gadi, to reign over Israel, and reigned 10 years in Samaria. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. He departed not all his days from the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin. An Assyrian invasion of Israel. So you're really approaching the end. Just notice the decline. He made it 6 months. He made it 1 month. And the 4th generation of Jehu. It's all breaking down, basically. This is a kind of a brief summation of these jokes, these kings. Some of them are just figureheads. There's just no leadership. It's all breaking down. Verse 19. And Pul, the king of Assyria, came against the land, and Menahem gave Pul 1,000 talents of silver, that his hand might be with him to confirm the kingdom in his hand. And Menahem exacted the money of Israel, even of all the mighty men of wealth, of each man 50 shekels of silver, to give to the king of Assyria. So the king of Assyria turned back, and stayed not there in the land. Death of Menahem, accession of Pekahiah over Israel. And the rest of the acts of Menahem, and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? And Menahem slept with his fathers, and Pekahiah his son reigned in his stead. So we begin the reign, and now the title of the next section is Death of Pekahiah, a session of Pekah over Israel. So you go from Pekahiah to just Pekah. See, it's really not looking good here. 23. In the 50th year of Azariah, king of Judah, Pekahiah, the son of Menahem, began to reign over Israel and Samaria, and reigned 2 years. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. He departed not from the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin. Same line. You just see it over and over and over again. And then you see the storyline breaking down. Just a steady decline. We're dying. Same thing right now. The quality of people. Look at some of these rioters right now. You think this is let's say that these rioters get what they want. They accomplish freedom or something. Accomplish their anarchist, whatever they're doing. You think that will be a steady mindset to build upon? Some of the demeanors of these rioters, what they're doing. I'm sorry. It's nuts. This is nuts right here. This is the end. Just like us right now. We're at the end. This is the end. But, of course, I'm a bigot, so nobody will listen to me. Okay. Where were we? (25) But Pekah, the son of Remaliah, a captain of his, conspired against him, and smote him in Samaria, in the palace of the king's house, with Argob and Ariah, and with him 50 men of the Gileadites, and he killed him, and reigned in his room. And the rest of the acts of Pekahiah, and all that he did, behold, they are written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel. Reign of Pekah over Israel, his death. 27. In the 52nd year of Azariah, king of Judah, Pekah, the son of Remaliah, began to reign over Israel and Samaria, and reigned 20 years. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. He departed not from the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin. In the days of Pekah, king of Israel, came Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, and took Ijon, and Abel-Beth-Maachah, and Genoa, and Kadesh, and Hazor, and Gilead, and Galilee, all the land of Naphtali, and carried them captive to Assyria. Sorry. 30. And Hoshea, the son of Elah, made a conspiracy against Pekah, the son of Remaliah, and smote him and slew him and reigned in his stead in the 20th year of Jotham, the son of Uzziah. And the rest of the acts of Pekah and all that he did, behold, they are written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel. Reign of Jotham over Judah, verse 32. In the 2nd year of Pekah, the son of Remaliah, king of Israel, began Jotham, the son of Uzziah, king of Judah, to reign. 25 years old was he when he began to reign, and he reigned 16 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Jerusha, the daughter of Zadok. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord. He did according to all that his father Uzziah had done. Howbeit the high places were not removed. The people sacrificed and burnt incense. Still in the high places he built the higher gate of the house of the Lord. See that line, it keeps being repeated. You got to pay attention to that. You also got to pay attention to these secret places where they're doing satanic sacrifices, apparently. Because they don't seem to ever take care of it, you know. 36. Now the rest of the acts of Jotham and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles and the kings of Judah? In those days the Lord began to send against Judah Rezin the king of Syria, and Pekah the son of Remaliah. And Jotham slept with his fathers, and was buried with his fathers in the city of David his father, and Ahaz his son reigned in his stead. Key verse there is right at the end, at 37. The key line there is, in those days the Lord began to send against Judah. Scumbag number 1 and scumbag number 2. So, basically what it's saying is, the Lord is doing this. Why is this happening? Why is the Lord doing this to me? Why do you think? Go back 1 verse, or 2 verses. Howbeit the high places were not removed, the people sacrificed and burned incense still in the high places. There you go. Why is this right there? See, you just gotta, it's like basic math, you know, just go back 2 verses and there it is. But that's the key there. In those days, the Lord began to send against Judah. When we just sin continually, when we continue to turn away from him, he says enough is enough. You're going to be spanked, little boy. You want to call yourself my child? You'll be disciplined. You know. I can relate. He beats me up all the time. I deserve it usually, though. You know. He's trying to make me stronger. He's trying to make me better. He's trying to make me more Christ-like. A lot of people don't like that. They just completely reject it and say, I won't be taught any of that. How dare you, Dad? I'm leaving. You know. And then, of course, here we are. Riots. Great. All right. Chapter 16 next time. Thank you for listening. Have a blessed day.